What is up, guys? Dzeeff here. Today I'm very excited to show you the first real gameplay video of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel on my channel. Yesterday we just played through the tutorial, but today we have a real gameplay video with a deck list as well, and we're talking about Exodia. So Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel so far has been a lot of fun. I streamed it pretty much all day yesterday. I streamed it for like 7 hours. By the way, follow me at twitch.tv/Dzeeff if you want to hop into one of those streams. So far, I am very impressed with Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. It looks good, it plays good, there's a lot of cool cosmetics, and I think the free-to-play options are really good in this game compared to things like Duel Links. This game's crafting system is excellent, and I really do appreciate the time and effort that went into building Master Duel. However, the game does have a few quirks, one of which is pretty controversial at this point. Personally, I'm just waiting for an update, but at the moment, there isn't a TCG or OCG ban list selection, and in fact Master Duel kind of has its own ban list that they call standard format. Now that ban list is pretty close to the current OCG ban list, but there are a few changes on there, so it's not exactly the same. And also, compared to the TCG format right now, we don't have Burst of Destiny or Dawn of Majesty in Master Duel either. Now in the release trailers for this game, they specifically mentioned being able to play the TCG and OCG format, so I would imagine an update is not too far away to actually give us the current TCG ban list, but at the moment Master Duel is kind of in its own specific format. It's playing with a card pool that is similar but not completely up to date compared to the current TCG card pool, but the ban list is pretty close to the current OCG ban list that they use in Japan. So why does this matter when it comes to Exodia decks? Well, in the OCG there are a bunch of draw spell cards that in the TCG are restricted or banned, but in the OCG they're completely unlimited. So you can make a pretty crazy Exodia deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel right now. So here is the current deck list, and I will mention at the moment I don't know how to reorder my deck in Master Duel, so it kind of looks a little bit weird. That's why Exodia is like way over here and the rest of the pieces are on the left hand side, but this deck is pretty wild. I will mention it's not really budget friendly, and also I wouldn't suggest going out and building it right now because it's legal in standard format, which might go away at any moment. You have to remember that in the TCG this deck does not really work. You only have 1 copy of Upstart Goblin, 1 copy of Into the Void, and 0 copies of Chicken Game, which make the pseudo spaces not viable either. So in Master Duel right now you can play this deck, but in the TCG you won't be able to. Anyway, let's go through the cards. So we have, of course, the 5 pieces of Exodia right there. 2 copies of Blue Eyes. I found 3 to be pretty bricky. 3 copies of the White Stone of Legend. Obviously you can't use all 3 effects, but that's fine. And then we have 3 copies of Royal Magical Library, like the best normal summon in the entire deck, and 1 copy of Blue Eyes Toon Dragon. Now one thing I'll mention is that I am playing 1 extra deck monster, Link Kribo. You do not have to play this card, and in fact in the gameplay that you guys are about to watch, I did not have an extra deck at all. The only normal summon you ever want to do is Royal Magical Library, so you can't really use the Link Kribo. This is just in here just in case you need to normal summon the White Stone of Legend, and then you use this card to summon Link Kribo to then add a Blue Eyes to be able to use Trade-In. Is that very likely? No, but it could come up, so you probably should play like 1 Link 1 monster in your extra deck if you have it. For the spells, we have 3 copies of Upstart Goblin, of course, 3 copies of Toon Table, which can grab the Blue Eyes to discard it with the Trade-In, 1 copy of Terraforming, 1 copy of Magical Mallet, 3 copies of Dark Will Dealings, 3 copies of Trade-In, of course, 2 copies of Cards of Consonance. So once again here, like with the 2 copies of Blue Eyes, we found that the Cards of Consonance were a little bit bricky. You usually will discard 1 of the White Stones with your Dark Will Dealings, so the 3rd copy of Cards of Consonance usually doesn't come up. 3 copies of Into the Void, of course, 1 copy of Potty Duality. You could maybe bump this up to 2. It is quite good in this deck, but you will probably draw your entire deck on turn 1, so you don't really want to play hard once per turn effects and multiples. So at the moment I'm only playing 1 copy, but it is a very good card. 3 copies of Chicken Game, which gives you 1 draw, and 3 copies of Pseudospace, which allows you to copy the Chicken Game to get 1 draw. So in the deck right now you can see how many cards give you 1 draw for free. Upstart Goblin, Into the Void, Chicken Game, Pseudospace, Terraforming, but you also have the Dealings and you have Duality as well. So pretty much like half of the cards in the deck are blanks, which is really good for an Exodia deck, especially considering for every 3 spells you use, you'll be able to draw 1 card with Royal Magical Library. This is pretty similar looking to many of the older Exodia decks that you've seen in the past, but this type of deck has not been legal in the TCG for a very long time. Regardless, this deck is surprisingly consistent, and I think it's really funny when it actually does work, but it probably won't be around for too long because whenever we get the actual TCG format in the game, this deck doesn't work at all. That being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay in today's video. It was my first time resolving Exodia in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, so I got to see the cool Exodia animation at the very end. Anyway, make sure to follow me at twitch.tv/Dzeeff if you haven't already, and I hope you guys enjoy the gameplay. But yeah, I really think if this deck opens Library, you have a really high chance of winning the game. I think that Library is like the most broken card in the deck. Okay, going first. Not bad. It's the 4 bricks until you draw the 5th. Yeah, basically. So like each piece, why is the Sangin, why does it just go floating immediately? The Rescue Rabbit's like dancing and stuff. The Sangin just like immediately stops moving and just starts floating off into space. That is great. Okay, interesting hand. That's a lot of draws. Let's see a Library in the top half of the deck, maybe. 1 time, please. That'd be cool. Draw a card. I should have duality'd for Library. I am dumb. Yup, that is a punish. I'll probably draw into a spell here, so I'm not like too worried because I have 2 chances to draw into a spell, but if I lose this game, it's because I didn't duality first, and that's my fault. Oh, this hurts. Come on. Draw 2. I want to see the trade-in. That'd be so big right here. Come on, Pseudospace, you can do this. Oh my gosh, I've never been so happy to see an Upstart Goblin in my life. Oh gosh, okay. Draw another. Oh my gosh, okay, this might be the Exodia game. This looks really good. Pseudospace again. Draw 1. Could be pretty good. So we have this draw. This is at 1 counter right now. Oh my gosh, Into the Void. This is at 2 counters now. Oh my gosh, Upstart Goblin. So we upstart. It's at 3. We draw another. Oh my gosh, it's looking pretty good. Draw another with this. Okay, not the best card, but we can work with it. So we'll trade in first, just to give us like the most amount of cards to dealings. Oh my gosh. Okay. We can Dark World Dealings. Oh my gosh, do the Toon Table as well. So we can Dark World Dealings the White Stone because we only have 3 White Stones and 2 cards of Consonance. So 1 White Stone can be discarded with the Dark World Dealings. 1 target left in deck, pretty cool. So it says 2 counters, so we can Toon Table right now. This has to be Exodia, it has to be. We have like so many draws left in hand, combined with a Library. Into the Void again. Oh, I should have not done that. I should have Toon Tabled. Oh my gosh. Okay, not punished. That's good. That was really bad. I should have Toon Tabled. I completely forgot what I was doing. For some reason, because I used Toon Table and then I did something else, I forgot that I like still had the Toon Table cycle to go through, but that was a very bad play, and it could have really messed this up. So now it has 3, so we can draw another. Yeah, this has to be Exodia. Mallet. Okay, that's pretty funny. So we can trade in. We need to see a Chicken Game off of this. That'd be very good. Get rid of the Toon Blue Eyes. Draw 2. Okay, not that great. Wait, how many does this have? 1? Okay. We can Dealings. Get rid of the Library. Okay. Kind of a weird spot to be in. We don't want to use the Pseudospace because we don't have a Chicken Game Engrave, so we actually have to Mallet here, which is interesting. 12 cards left in deck. The question is, do we Mallet the entire hand away, including the Exodia pieces? And I think the answer is yes, as weird as it sounds. Because we just want to draw cards. We just want to get more spells in hand to use the Royal Magical Library, so I think we have to get rid of the Exodia pieces. It looks really weird, but I think it is the best play here. Okay. Draw one. That's very good. Draw another. Incredibly good. 10 left in deck. Draw another. Okay. Yep, that's very good as well. We still have a blue eyes in deck at the moment, but we might draw it. Didn't draw it, so we do trigger that. Is that the third counter for this? It is. Okay. So we get a draw here. That is Exodia. First Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel Exodia. Look at him. He's like... That's pretty crazy. Yeah, when you draw a library early on, it is not that hard to Exodia. But, man. Yeah, when this deck gets going, it's good. And I think that one copy of Magical Mallet made a huge difference. It allowed me to fix my hand, get rid of those Exodia pieces, try to draw into spells. I drew the chicken game, and that was huge. Into the Upstart Goblin, the library. So good. Victory with Exodia in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. That is amazing.